Yo, it's me playing as Mascara, the leading country to form Algeria. We're going to be trying to kick the French out of Algeria, unite with the other Algerians, and of course try to expand into the greater Maghreb and whatever else we can manage to expand into. So we're going to set out by researching empiricism for the extra wealth education access and also education institution, because fun fact, we actually set out with an education institution, which is pretty rare for countries with this backwards of technology. It helps us have a 20% literacy rate. For comparison, the other Algerian miners have only around a 10% literacy rate, so definitely significantly better, and going empiricism is going to help improve our literacy rate differential even more. We're also going to put some social mobility decrees, road maintenance, and more decrees because we just have plenty of authority to do that with. And then I guess we'll build some logging camps because it looks like iron isn't very productive. And then we'll also probably build some tools because, yeah, these aren't on the sawmills PM yet. We will swap them onto that. And then I guess we'll start exporting wood to the Spanish. That does look like the most profitable way to export. And we can't have too many trade routes due to our lack of bureaucracy. So, of course, day one, we're going to declare on Constantine. This seems like one of the more reasonable targets to attack. I mean, Abbas is just quite a bit less strong, so you'd get quite a bit less resources from conquering them, and you can easily conquer either one, so we might as well go for the easier one, or the better one to conquer. I guess we'll declare a couple of rivalries here with a couple of people that we don't really plan on making friends with. We'll try to improve with pretty much everyone for now that is big, that we have interest in, because definitely don't want anyone to intervene in our wars, especially if they would be actually able to defeat us. Italians might actually be important. I know sometimes the Italian AIs like to join Algeria in their defensive wars against the French, so that would be pretty useful. Okay, now that that war is escalated, we're going to go declare on Ait Abbas, because why not, right? It's just kind of going to be more territory. It said Sardinian Piedmont was likely to join, but now it doesn't, because it doesn't include weakness of army in that calculation for some reason, I think. I have no clue why it doesn't include weakness of army in the initial thing, but it just seemingly doesn't for the most part. Anyway, we'll just disband this army because I think we're at the size of country right now, so we're having one army stack is going to be the best way to manage our army. I guess we should just trigger corn laws, right? So let's get the landowners into government and let's start exporting some grain. Let's do this before, we annex Ait Abbas because that could give us more grain. I don't know. Yeah, we trigger corn laws like that. Now we need to delete these grain trade routes so that we don't run huge problems with bureaucracy because trade routes are very expensive when you're this small. Okay, now we're done conquering Constantine. We will start incorporating the state. That is producing a lot of negative bureaucracy, but the state is really nice. It has a plus 20% iron mines throughput, which I mean probably doesn't really make up for its negative 15% state construction efficiency and minus 15% infra, but it is a pretty nice modifier. Okay, we're running a bit of a bad balance, so I'm going to put government wages at minimum. That now we're running a bit of a positive balance, which is nice. I think this is going to be fine actually, because we don't plan on building construction, so budget should be pretty static over time. So as long as it's just, oh, what happened to make our budget go down there? I'm not actually sure. We'll just put a consumption tax on liquor. A negative 70 should be fine. That's incredibly lucky. We get a pro-British lobby. That's very, very lucky. Wow. Okay, apparently our intelligentsia just got marginalized, so we lost our pro-British lobby. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, we get a modern conservative. That's what we love to see. We will start bolstering the liberal movement, of course. And with our high literacy, I am expecting that we should get a pressuring of the landowners pretty easily. It's time to invade Morocco. For too long, the Moroccan state has been... What? Brazil is likely to intervene? Brazil guaranteed the independence of Morocco? Brazil has 600 power production. We have 400. Okay, I think we win this. I don't think Brazil can defeat us. Yeah, we're just gonna put a bunch of war goals here. Full annex. Wait, can we call someone in? If we can, then I might want to do that. France would... No, France is not really wanting to join us. They just want to take one of our states. Hopefully Morocco won't offer them one of our states. I don't think they will. I think we should just be fine here to win this war. Because we actually started out with a couple of line infantry battalions, which is very useful. Looks like they're all in our states, which makes picking Constantine or whatever a much worse choice because you're going to get less of those line infantry battalions when you conquer Mascara, because you only get a portion of the infantry once it's conquered. Did the Brazilians even join the war? It looks like they did not even join the war, so we are just going to have a pretty free win here. Even if the Brazilians joined, though, they have a pretty small army. I doubt they'd send that much over, so we couldn't win, given our stats are just like a much higher. So the Brazilians would have had to send over like 10 battalions, I think, or something, for us to not be able to defeat the Moroccans. Anyway, we're gonna win this war. Just swapped up to iron tools because we built our iron mine. Should be getting everything interconnected slowly as this iron mine employs up. Looks like we have a little bit too much money for now, so I will remove the consumption tax, and we do not really have enough money to build a construction sector, I think. So we're just gonna accept running a pretty good balance for now, I think. And our balance is back to being terrible now that we've annexed Morocco for some reason. We will start incorporating these newly acquired states. That gives us a big negative bureaucracy, which should actually crash our economy quite significantly. We're running negative 16k. Oh, Morocco has construction. Yeah, that would explain our problems. There's no way we can afford this much. How? Yeah, no, delete all of it. Unfortunately, with the couple of weeks we had the construction sector, they were able to build one privately owned building of this food industries, which is going to take away 25% of our stuff. Oh yeah, have the landowners been pressured yet? I remember checking and they were not even close. Okay, they're a little bit closer now. We're up to 8% pressure. The movement is gaining very little support at this point. Probably want to start suppressing these other movements, so let's take off a couple of our decrees and just try our hardest to suppress the other movements the landowners are into, and hopefully we can get these guys to 10% support. I'm really surprised that the landowners are this little pressure, given that we have pretty high literacy and support on our movement isn't that bad. We have an interest shared with Austria now, so I'm going to take away improving with Ottomans and Egypt to start improving with Austria, because I know a lot of the times Austria does protect Mascara. Okay, the landowners are now being pressured, so we're going to grant leadership to our market liberal. We're going to stop spending 1 million authority on doing this, and apparently we actually started on tenant farmers. Wow, we start with a lot of really progressive laws. Now, we could go laissez-faire, but I like interventionism more, so we're gonna go ahead and go interventionism here. Usually a pretty good pick. I mean, you can maybe make a decent argument for it with, like, the national buildings do cost bureaucracy, but it's not a whole lot. Apparently we're spending a ton on trade routes. Oh, because we inherited all the Moroccan trade routes. Gotta go delete all the Moroccan trade routes real quick. They're killing our economy a lot. Now we got way more bureaucracy. Yeah, we're running a positive balance now. Look at that balance thing when we flip off of those trade routes. Wow. Get a pro-French lobby? That's crazy. Okay, we passed interventionism. I assume that's going to increase our investment pool. As it increase it to 5k. Pretty tiny, but it's better than whatever it was before, probably. Still, per capita would be less money. Is there really much of anything that we'd like to pass? We don't have the tech for free trade yet, so I think that we don't have really anything else to use our market liberal on quite yet. Oh, the French have declared war on us for conquer state. Okay, that's not very good. Also, we just finished our researching of empiricism. I guess we'll go into stock exchange now. Okay, we can call the British to our side, so not all is yet lost. So I'm going to make my war goal liberate Algeria, because I think it's going to be the easiest to enforce thing. And we don't want to have war goals like conquer, I think, because it's going to make Britain get more negative reasons to join us. Looks like that didn't give them any like insignificant demands or whatever stuff, so that's good. We're going to grab our army and put it on one of the fronts. We get a landowners petition to pass laissez-faire. We'll just reject it, I guess. Okay, as soon as we can, we want to call Britain in, I think. Do we want to become a British protectorate? Kind of. I think we're going to do a subject game this game. You know, it's been a while since I've played as a protectorate. Like at least a couple of weeks, I think. So we'll give it a go again, becoming a British protectorate. You know, it's always a pretty strong play. I just don't want to do it like every game because I think it's like a little bit overpowered, you know? Because you get access to their market, which kind of makes their economy way better. It looks like in this case it didn't jump our GDP up, but I think it did, or it probably slightly helps our economy. It's going to make all of our buildings much more profitable. We can turn on all of our better PMs now without any worries of our economy not really being ready for it at all. That would be more profitable, actually. Is it actually, though? It actually is. Okay, I guess we'll turn that on then. Running a pretty good balance. I guess we'll start building some construction. British do have a little bit low market access right now, but it's not too bad. We actually don't have urban planning yet, so kind of got bad, what's it called? Got bad construction, but we'll start investing in a little bit of construction anyway. I think we want liberate Algeria as our only war goal here, because if we can try to enforce more, it's just going to make things much harder for us. Nice thing about being a British protectorate is even if we do get occupied, which is seeming kind of likely right now, Britain, or we won't be able to cap unless Britain caps. That's nice. Well, unfortunately, we are just losing on this front, which is not good. The British need to send over more troops. Something needs to change, or else we are just kind of screwed here, which is not good. Yeah, this is very bad. British need to send over much more troops for us to stand a chance here. Uh-oh. Our troops are like forever away from the front. They're not even close to arriving. We're gonna lose all 3 of our states' occupation. Uh-oh, uh-oh. This is very bad. Okay, we're gonna try to build a navy, because I think this may be our only way to win the war. Things are not looking too great right now. Very good thing we became a British protectorate there, or else we would just be 100% dead here. What, 0 more British armies are trying to come to this front? What is going on? The British are just trying to land France? Why? Why in the world have the British just decided landing France is going to be the solution? I think that we are going to have no other option but to try to counterland the French in Africa, or else we are just going to be put here. Actually, the British can't capitulate due to the humiliation war, so that's something. We could probably get a white peace with that. That is an option, seemingly. We're actually winning this defensive battle somehow. We could retake the Alref. We're getting huge devastation on all of our states. It's a bit of a problem, but we do have a navy now, so let's split off an irregular, and I guess we'll just go for a naval invasion, because the British have naval superiority, so we should just be good here. Except the British... Nope, the French are not actually going to defend. So we're just going to get in here. That's going to be nice. Let's hire a couple generals here. I just need to push through and rehold Africa, please. Let me hold it. Surely we can hold Africa. No, we definitely cannot, because the French are yep, the French have arrived to our naval invasion, which is very bad. Uh-oh. We really need more British help in order to stand a chance in this war. We will be able to secure a white peace soon, though. I think that might be what we're forced to do. Just get a white peace and try again eventually, because unless this, like, bricks the front and we can push through, yeah, I don't see how we get into this. I mean, we could, like, naval cheese it, but I don't really want to do that, you know? Like, do the full naval cheese where we just take over all the provinces one by one by one. I kind of want to do this a little bit more normal than that. I think we'll just accept a white piece here. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be what we do. Get a white piece out of that war. We're running huge positive balance now. We really need more construction, I think, but we just need more iron, or we need to unlock the iron frame buildings tech for that. I guess we'll go for the tech. Unfortunately, we haven't tech spreaded this yet. We're tech spreading mass communication. Really unlucky. I'm going to request knowledge sharing from the British. I'm kind of fine with either option. Getting the tech spread would be nice. Getting the Liberty Desire would be nice. So, okay, they deny. Unfortunate. I think we'd prefer the tech spread a bit more, but I think Liberty Desire is nice as well. We're tech spreading urban planning now. I want to go into colonization, because we need colonization in order to get recognition, which I think is going to be pretty important. If we get recognition, you know, we can fight the French and be more likely to actually get allies in the war. Okay, we finally got urban planning, so we can swap it to iron frame. That should solve our budget. Are we actually... No, yeah, we're not running a positive budget anymore. You can see negative 7k plus 1k. Should be a pretty fine budget. We can handle this for a couple years before running out of money, so that should be good enough. We're getting pretty close to colonization, which after that, I think we're going to be done with society tax pretty much, and we can start going into railways. Okay, we just unlocked earning recognition, so I think we're gonna try putting interest in Iberia, and I guess I'll put an interest in East Iberia in case we can't do this. But I'm thinking we're gonna try to do a war against Spain and see if we can call Britain into that. Oh wait, we have too good of relations with Spain actually. Okay, what if we try to declare on Aceh, and then Spain would join against us, or something like that? That might work. Yeah, we'll try something like that and see if we can fight Spain. So it turns out Russia and Great Britain are gonna play against each other, which is kind of annoying. So we're just gonna have to wait till that plays over because we can't call Britain against Spain. You know, they got like yeah, they got plus 90 neutrality from the Russia versus GB war. So we're just gonna declare conquer Togurt real quick, and hopefully in the meantime the British can finish this war. I really need to fix this middle click problem, but I don't know how. My mouse is just kind of broken. I guess I'll just go conquer Brunei in the meantime. We're kind of about to run out of infamy. We actually shouldn't be using the stack. Um, yeah, actually, we're gonna need to like build a bigger navy to conquer Brunei with, but it should be fine. I think we just need to build like one naval base for thing in these 5 provinces, and then build like this army into like line infantry lancers or whatever, and we should be able to land Brunei, assuming that they've got irregulars still, which hopefully they do. Looks like they do, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna begin a naval invasion of Brunei. We'll see how that goes. We got 14 troops down here in Bali, but that's not really too relevant. 8 troops that we really have to go against. This is our 5 landing squad. Hopefully it's gonna be enough. Oh, these troops have like very low manpower actually, so let's cancel this and let's get 5 of our higher manpower troops in here. 3 line infantry, and I think cannon artillery will be fine as well. Or wait, what? We only got... Oh, we only brought over the cannon artillery. Okay, let's bring over 3 line infantry into that battalion real quick. Quick transfer. Now we've got our 5, and that should be good to land Brunei with, hopefully. Okay, the UK-Russia war is now over, seemingly. So, we're going to declare to conquer Aceh. And then Spain is going to join against us here, hopefully. And then we're going to add some war goals against Spain. And that's going to be very nice for us. Spain should join. Oh, we want to put an interest in Iberia real quick. So let's do that. Because otherwise, it's going to be a little bit difficult to add war goals against Spain if we don't have an interest in the region where Spain is present. You know, that's just my opinion, though. So who knows if it's really true. I guess we could go for like the Asturias Company or whatever, but I think we will just go for liberate Andalusia. We're going to give Britain an obligation, liberate Catalonia, and then some Spanish war reparations. Very nice, very nice. Mobilize our big army, upgrade, and I guess we'll go on the Al Rif Treaty Port here. It'll be pretty good. Liberating Andalusia and Catalonia should give us enough for recognition, and we should have good enough relations with Great Britain and Austria, so either of those should be options for who gives us recognition. It looks like we're making good progress on landing Brunei. Looks like the Spain war is going okay. We got a 50 advantage on the Al Rif Treaty Port and neutral on the Gibraltar front, so that's pretty solid. Aceh is apparently guarding here. Interesting. Anyway, let's offer Brunei conquered North Borneo, so now we're done with that war. We can send all of our armies over, help out over here. And we do just have like a 50 advantage, so we should be just having a pretty easy victory while we push up to the Spanish capital. Okay, we're gonna make it back up to Toledo. Let's go. Yes, they're capping. Very nice. Aceh is not capping because we haven't landed them yet, but Aceh is not a big deal. We're kind of fine if Britain ends up white piecing Aceh. Don't really care about them much at all. We're about to get our recognition. I hope we get it from Austria, because then... Actually, let's damage relations with the UK so that we try to get it from Austria, because I think we prefer getting it from Austria. If we get it from Austria, we might be able to get an alliance with them, I think. We're minus 84 right now. It's not very good, but I think we have a chance at getting it from Austria. Okay, we get it from Austria, even though we didn't manage to lower relations with Britain in time. Getting recognition, very nice. We can actually form a defensive pact, although a defensive pact is actually useless because that will just mean that we're forced to join their wars, but our wars will all technically be against Great Britain, so it won't really do anything. So how close are we to forming an alliance? We're 15 away. You know, a pretty unfortunate thing is there's such tiny amounts of wood down here in Africa, and the British market is actually lacking quite a lot of wood. Andalusia offers a defensive pact with us in exchange for an obligation. I think we just hate a defensive pact so much right now. It's not worth it. We do kind of want to conquer some of Andalusia at some point, I think. Actually, these states don't have amazing resources. Actually, Western Andalusia has pretty good. Catalonia? Oh, Valencia is so good, yeah. Probably want to try to conquer Valencia at some point. We're going to request knowledge sharing again. Just want to bump our liberty desire up a little bit, you know. Never want to be too far below 25 or else the British AI will reduce you. When they're protective, I believe they need to go below like 10 before they will reduce autonomy, but you still just generally want to try to stay above 25, I think. Apparently the French are now conciliatory towards us. That's crazy. France and Prussia are getting into a war against each other here, so I think it's going to be a pretty good opportunity to go declare a war against France here for a quick little French Algiers. Also, we're going to put down a bunch of decrees real quick. I'm going to take away some other decrees because I want to put down enlistment efforts in like every single state, and then we'll do like this many line infantry, and then the rest cuirassiers, something like that should be good. And this army will hopefully carry us to victory against the French here. We're gonna call in the Austrians as soon as possible, and then the British. The British asked to join. We don't want to give them humiliation because that's going to require occupying core French land, which we do not want to do. That's going to be too difficult. We'll call. No, let's not call the Austrians in with that. Let's call the Austrians in with military assistance. That should be good. Now, we actually want to conquer these other provinces from France as well. Then we want to call in two Sicilies. No, not with that. Let's call two Sicilies in with an obligation. Then we want to call Britain in with liberate Corsica, because if we had one of the other war goals, we're going to need to land a hard strategic region. Corsica is in Italy, which is much, much easier to land. So we'll go for Corsica. And yeah, that's going to be our war. Get our Algerian provinces, we liberate Corsica, and that's pretty much going to be all we care about. A little bit of form Algeria after this war. I'm going to start passing per capita. It'll make us a bit more money, and yeah, I put the armed forces in government for this, by the way. We're going to raise mill wages real quick. We're going to get the patriotic fervor active from this, which is always nice for that plus 10% offense and plus 10% defense. It looks like we might need to actually go with this army over to this front, because this front is like completely undefended, seemingly, which is terrible. Oh, the British are actually coming over with a little bit, but we're going to want some more troops over there, I think. Okay. Winning pretty good on some of these fronts, which is... Okay, we'll accept that petition, because we are trying to pass that right now. Failing to invade in here. The combat width on these tiles is kind of just terrible, so... To be honest, I think that we are going to have to do some naval invasions to get into the provinces. Oh, the French do have a fleet here right now, so let's wait for the Brits to defeat their fleet real quick. 20% loyalists in Algiers is pretty huge. Yeah, it's not actually that many people, but I mean, it's pretty nice. French are currently getting overrun by the Prussians, which is pretty nice. We do need the British to actually defeat the French Navy fully, though. Looks like it actually... No, the French actually won one of the naval battles. Don't like to see that, but French should be down to just one admiral now. But they're winning naval battles, though. Not what we like to see whatsoever. Yeah, we need them to win the navy so we can actually win on land, or else once the Prussians are done with their war, we are just going to be kind of lost here, I think. Please, okay, the navy is finally dealt with. Time to start naval mating, because otherwise you just can't push because the combat width is too small, and French dedicated like way more troops to this part than you'd think. Bruh, they have another fleet here already? You're kidding me. How? How? Please go back to defend our capital. Oh no. It's so over. How are the French doing this, bro? Your whole country's occupied by Prussia, bro. Oh, we should push quickly here while we have the huge advantage that we do. It's naval. Come on, guys, deal with the stupid American fleet here, please. Well, we're actually like just winning the push into Algiers, which is kind of huge. We occupy 59% of Algiers. Come on, just a couple more battles and we can occupy all of Algiers, and that's going to be kind of huge. We do need to just win the naval battle eventually, though, or else we're screwed. How's Austria doing in terms of war support? They're actually doing pretty good. Oh, we occupied Algiers. Okay, good. Wow, these fronts are both defended. Okay, well, we can go through this front, which is going to be one of the three pockets of French resistance dealt with. Okay, looks like the AI is dealing with it, but we'll go there just in case. Okay, it gets dealt with pretty nicely. Okay. Okay, the French fleet is just leaving for some reason, so we're gonna take advantage of this and try to land French Constantine, except our fleet is defeated. Let's revive it real quick and go for our landing. But the French fleet is just gonna zip back. Great. Terrible. But yeah, why do you do this to me, France? You got these tiny little admirals. The British just have their fleet split up too much, and so you just win. It's so annoying. Come on, France. Why do you do this to me? Okay, they just spaghettied the front here. I just realized we're at zero infamy. I guess I'll declare a war on like Siak or something. Yeah, sure. This is fine. Oh, Dutch East Indies is likely to join them. Uh-oh. Hopefully they don't. We need to push through here, or else things are gonna be pretty bad. Austria is still minus 60 capitulation desire. Britain is minus 12 peace acceptance. The relative military power difference just keeps getting bigger in our favor. We just need the British to ever deal with the French fleets, but they're just not, which is like really annoying that the British are losing to the French Navy. Okay, the British are going to reoccupy Constantine here, seemingly. How close are we to occupying Oran? Not very close, but we're going to get Constantine here, actually, I think. This front, this front has 34 troops. Uh-oh. I think we may not be able to get into Constantine here. Somehow, troops did just instantly get to the front, which not what I expected, really, but I guess we'll just go try our best to push over here. Okay, we're making good progress. Sort of. This is really weird. Can we... We'll tax more once we get prop tax, or per capita tax, I guess. Yeah, this is tough. Oh, we got per capita. Also, I noticed we're winning the naval battle, seemingly, so let's try naval invading into French Oran. We'll see how that goes. Okay, we're just in. Nice. And now we can go for French Constantine. Let's go. The Great War is finally over. Oh, right as Britain was like getting incredibly close to accepting peace as well. Oh, we need to get into Corsica fast, or else Britain might just accept a peace. Please, please get into Corsica fast enough. Yes, okay, we're in Corsica. So France is going to start capping now, and Britain is not going to want to make peace. I'm surprised the British haven't hit a peace deal yet. Usually, when you're a subject and like they had to fight till nearly zero war support acceptance, they'll make a peace deal where you don't get all your war goals. But it looks like they actually do just let us hit negative 100 and enforce on the French, which is pretty solid. Yeah, we're gonna demobilize this 148 stack because it is costing us our life savings. Yeah, okay, now we're running a positive balance. I don't have that many radicals, right? And our expected SOL is not very high, so I think we can afford a little bit higher of taxes. Looks like our bureaucracy isn't too great, so we'll go up to filing cabinets, and we can use that money to, or use that bureaucracy to go up to level 2 on the education institution. And we do just have this stuff occupied by Siak right now, which is kind of unfortunate. Oh, Dutch East Indies is in this war, so we might just white piece this at some point, use it as an infamy bank. But yeah, I guess let's form Algeria now. That gives us 25 prestige, a bunch of claims on mostly stuff that we already partially control. Actually, it gives us claims on Tripolitania and Tunis. It's interesting stuff. I guess it gives us claims on Matra as well. Cool. I guess we can use the return CB map mode to see what we got claims on. Okay, some decent stuff here. And then you also get claims on all this stuff here down here, which means no more people are going to be allowed to colonize there, which is pretty nice. Oh, and I stopped the recording, and then I immediately realized that we complete the Algerian War of Resistance, which gives us the Stay and Settles, where we can either become a theocracy and get claims on, I think, stuff that we already have claims on, or own, or we can get 10% loyalists and a couple of claims. This option seems much better, so we'll go with this option, giving us 10% loyalists and a couple of claims that we already possess. It also gives our leaders some popularity. Okay, it gives us a bit less radicals and a lot more loyalists. I like to see it quite a lot. And we're now the great nation of Algeria. Looks like they didn't actually change our color. We haven't quite earned the Barbary back achievement yet, but fun fact, there's actually an alternative way of doing it without beating France in a war, which is if you can get above minus 20 relations with France, you can move your capital to Algiers and then trade away Oran to France in exchange for your bit of Algiers. You might have to give them an obligation for it, but they should accept the deal. I'm going to declare for liberate Cyprus against the Ottomans here, and we're going to call Britain in for, what do they want to conquer? Tripoli or Tunisia? Okay, we'll let them humiliate the Ottoman Empire. But we want to use our return CBs against Tripolitania and Tunis. So primary Tunis, I guess, and yeah, should be good. Mobilize our troops. Once this Egypt and Britain war concludes, we'll hopefully be able to go in and occupy Tunis and stuff. We have a lobby opportunity for an alliance with Austria. What is it with me and getting insanely good lobby opportunities in the last couple of games? From an anti-French league, not even a pro-Austrian league. That's crazy, but we'll take it. We'll take it. Do we even need to give an obligation? We don't. We actually... No, do we? We do, by one. Okay, we'll give an obligation. I want to try to get some people to support our independence if possible. Because if we can get that, help us out a lot with our wars. Oh yeah, I think France should have gotten like mega... Yeah, they got their failed in Algeria thing, the Algerian fiasco, which gives them... That was negative 50 prestige, it's only negative 30. Dang. Oh, the Ottomans should back down? Okay, I guess it's fine. We get Tunis as a state, we'll take it. Is this devastation going to keep racking up for us? It is. That's annoying. I hope that peace with Egypt will fix that. If it doesn't, we're going to have to go to war with Egypt. Once the Ottomans and Egypt peace, please deoccupy this. I'm going to start enacting colonial exploitation because we do want to start colonizing a little bit. Oh, we finished railways. Okay, we'll go water tube boiler next. We actually need to like swap up our PMs quite a bit. You know, I kind of forgot that we are in the British market, so like we can swap everything up and there's not going to be any shortages or anything. Be completely fine. Go Atmo engine stuff. I think it's time to start going for South Africa. You know, we're kind of got truces with like everyone we're super close to right now. We're starting to damage relations with Andalusia, so we can try creating some stuff in southern Iberia, which is a little bit, you know, more reasonable. Oh, we are losing to Siak. That's unfortunate. I don't think there's really much of anything we can do about that. I guess we'll just capitulate in this war. Oh, that does reduce us to 0 infamy. But we can just declare on Transvaal immediately after, and we should be fine. Yeah, we're gonna need to find a way to land Gaza, but I guess we can just build more navy, and we should be fine. Okay, now we're conquering Lorenzo Marx. We're gonna go for Transvaal next, and then go for Oranjo, and they join against us in this play. Okay, we're landing into Gaza successfully, and then we'll try to ship over our 32 stack, I guess, to help us out with Transvaal. Because I assume, yeah, we're gonna be at a little bit of a disadvantage there. And I guess we'll declare on Orania, because we do want to sort of get them as well. Has any gold spawned here yet? Yeah, 12 gold fields has spawned in Transvaal, and 0 in Orania, unfortunately. We should probably build a port in our newly acquired province of Lorenzo Marx. That'd be good. Or wait, did a port already exist? I think I might have saw that. Yeah, a port did already exist, actually, so that's going to be a little bit unnecessary. 12 gold fields, real nice, giving us, you know, a solid 7k minting almost. Pretty nice. I didn't realize throughput applied to gold fields. Oh yeah, we're running a negative balance because I started constructing some wood mines. Some would say they're not called wood mines, and they'd be very correct, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm calling them wood mines. We're going to bring the industrialists into government because the passing of colonial exploitation is not going well, so we need a little bit of extra success chance so we can hopefully actually get this through, because it was not going very well. Well, the leadership war between Prussia and Austria is going on here. I guess we'll support Austria in exchange for an obligation. The only thing I'm wondering here is, does this actually work? Because I'm pretty sure we owe Austria an obligation right now. Is that going to cancel out our obligations? It does. Okay, I was wondering if it's going to give, like, us both having an obligation on each other, which would be really weird. But no, it just cancels out the obligation. Oh yeah, I guess I should remove these enlistment efforts and replace them with something better for now. Road maintenance, resource industry. I mean, I guess we could start using a greener grass campaign on Algiers, or maybe we should do like Tunis. Tunis is a better state, right? Tunis doesn't have the construction penalties. It's got okay resources. Yeah, let's put a greener grass campaign on Tunis. Unfortunately, our Sunni ulema are insanely powerful, so I'm not sure that we're really like ever gonna be able to pass anything that they dislike, which is pretty bad, but I mean, it's fine for the most part. Our balance is pretty solid. We're gonna expand construction a ton here. Yeah, let's build like 10. Why do we have... Oh, some of these construction sectors aren't employed. Okay, that makes a bit of sense why. Yeah, we're gonna build a ton more construction, and hopefully that'll help deal with our money, because we got a lot of money right now to spend. Russia's occupied our country, so we're gonna capitulate. I just wasn't even paying attention. I should have defended myself, but I didn't. Just realized I'm out of infamy. Oh, we're gonna declare interest in Iberia, and we're gonna go for conquest of Andalusia next. I'm gonna do the conquest of Western Andalusia. Andalusia. Probably have to, call someone into this play to help us win it. Yeah, probably want to call Austria in. Oh, Two Sicily sides with Andalusia. It's fine. Let's call ally on Austria, and then let's conquer Eastern Andalusia, and then let's sway Great Britain with an obligation, and then conquer Badajoz. I think that seems good. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Put our army in the Andalusia front, and we will be annexing Andalusia to create the greatest sultanate of all Andalus there ever was. Oh, Sardinia, Piedmont brings against us as well. They're gonna get destroyed by Austria, probably. Having good battles in Andalusia. We're gonna occupy the nation. It's gonna be great. We're gonna need to take Gibraltar from Britain in our independence war so that we can connect the stuff through non-naval stuff, because there's actually a straight connection between Gibraltar and Alref, which does make you stop having to use convoys. We're running a pretty good positive balance for only running negative 2k investment pool. We should probably build quite a bit more construction. Also, might need some more ports, because Britain is kind of lacking in market access. Building some more ports might help out with that a little bit. Anyway, Andalusia is going to cap out in like 5 weeks, so that's going to be nice. Well, not 5 weeks, but they're going to cap out now. And yeah, nice little expansion of Algeria. Unfortunately, there are no Middle Eastern homelands here, so it is 20-year incorporation. I feel like they need to fix the incorporation stuff so that like characters that are more similar can incorporate faster. Like I feel like the biggest need for this is Middle Eastern and African. Like it's really weird that Egypt couldn't incorporate this, or couldn't incorporate something in like Ethiopia in 5 years, but they could Somalia because it has um like Arab speaking or whatever for the 10-year incorporation. It just feels pretty weird. And I think that African and Middle Eastern heritages should probably have some sort of mechanic makes them more similar, or they should like combine the heritages. Also, Ottomans being in the Middle Eastern heritage is a little bit weird, I think. The evil Spanish think they can rebel against my rule. How dare they? We could go racial segregation, but we can't go higher than that because we have slavery. And we can't really ban slavery because slavery is way too hard to ban in the game right now. They really need to make slavery easier to ban. So I think we're gonna have to just deal with this revolt. I mean, I guess we could try to pass racial segregation. I guess we'll go for it. Well, in just a second here, the Ottomans are gonna get the Dead Man of Europe applied to them, which is going to delete all their subjects and make them unrecognized. Yep, there we go. The Ottomans are now unrecognized, and if we refresh our map modes, Tripolitania and stuff has disappeared from them. Also, somehow that made them a major power. I guess they lost the Sick Man of Europe negative prestige modifier. Is there any way we could get a protectorate? I assume not, because when you have a 25 infamy, it's really hard. Oh yeah, we're minor power, actually, so we can't sway for a protectorate. But nice, there's a little civil war going on there. I'll damage relations with Tripolitania real quick so that we can try to use our return CB on them, and then probably go in against Egypt after that. Unfortunately, Spain is now an Austrian protectorate. We don't like that very much. Just realized we unlocked colonization, so I started colonizing in Inner Morocco, and I think this is, yeah, West Sahara. And that should be pretty good. Once those are done, we can go into Sahara and East Sahara. Okay, we finally passed racial segregation. Oh, are these guys improving? They are improving relations with me. That's a bit of a problem. Surely we don't waste and expel diplomats against Tripolitania. They have a defensive pact with Lucca. We're gonna try maybe declaring for like a Lucca treaty port or something, and then getting her return that way, because yeah, it's really annoying that we just can't attack Tripolitania like this. Our interest should be appearing by now, right? Okay, there it is. Do we want to take a... If we... The treaty... Oh, Russia would be likely to intervene. Huh. Well, I guess what do we do here? I really don't want to waste 10 infamy to conquer Tripolitania. And the problem is, if we attack Egypt for this stuff, this actually causes 0 infamy. So it's not really going to solve our problem. So I saw Tripolitania has an interest in Iberia, which means if we were to declare on Catalonia or something, that would give us negative relations with Tripolitania, I believe. Yeah, Tripolitania gives negative 13 relations, which is good enough. Also, Spain would be likely to join, which actually would be nice. I mean, we could take our war goals against them. And I think we've got enough army that we can maybe win this war solo. So we'll declare for conquer Valencia, mobilize, upgrade units, change our army over to general training so we get bureaucracy, so we get training rate good. And we should be good to win this war, I think. Okay, Spain has joined the war. And they've mobilized their entire army. We are losing on the front right now. Conscripts, we could probably enlist an effort and win this war. Britain wants to join for a treaty. They want the Alref treaty port. We want the Alref treaty port, I think. So we don't want to do that. We're like 2 acceptance away from getting Austria in. So I guess let's change our our government so that they approve of us more. Go back to this government. And that should let us call Austria in, call ally, and then hopefully with that we should be able to beat Valencia or Spain and Catalonia. Wait, why can we not? Oh, Spain gets kicked out of the war? Right, that makes sense. I didn't think about that. Okay, maybe calling in Austria was a bad idea. It's fine though. We could full annex Catalonia if we want. Sure, let's full annex Catalonia. That sounds fun. Netherlands side with them. Spain really wants to side, but they can't. Hopefully the USA doesn't side in. Yeah, we got a 44 advantage or so. Oh, Spain gets enforced military access into the war on our side. Alright. We're not actually winning these battles as much as we'd like, but oh, we didn't actually put as many troops as we could on the front. Let's go put these troops on the front, and we're gonna defeat Catalonia surely. Okay, we've occupied the Catalonian mainland, so it should just be a matter of time till we can enforce full annexation on Catalonia. Okay, we will now be annexing Catalonia in like 3 days. Yep, there we go. The great Algeria and Iberia expands yet again. Yeah, I guess let's go conquer Tripolitania now. That'll be nice. That's white peace the Dutch. Okay. Tripolitania will mean we'll have a border with Egypt, so we can go for their states if we want. So Spain sided against us. We don't have the infantry to conquer Toledo, which I kind of wanted. So we'll just take the treaty port, I guess. I'll put our main army against Spain. Smaller army here, and an even smaller army, or 2 smaller armies against Al Rif. That seems good. Very nice little wins we're having against the Spanish in Iberia, and then once we're done with that, or we're already taking over Tripolitania as well. I thought the Spanish had sent some troops over here, but they actually sent them over to Al Rif. In fact, the Tripolitanians actually sent something over here. But the Tripolitanians have skirmish. I'm still kind of surprised that the AI managed to get to that high. Maybe the Ottomans technology shared with them or something. I don't know. They must have just got lucky, really. We're gonna be getting into Toledo in a oh wow, that's unfortunate. We were going to get into Toledo in a second, but we unfortunately failed that battle, and we're gonna be winning in these guys soon anyway. Yeah, Tripolitania is occupied. Spain is occupied, so it's basically over. I'm gonna build a 30 stack uni. Hi peasant. Let's build it in Constantine, I guess. 30 stack uni is always nice so we can hit our innovation cap. I am sort of doing pan-nationalism a little bit, but I will research some other texts, I think, before we finish that. Like, yeah, let's actually go back into joint stock companies, and then maybe, like, central archives. Or no, let's go pharmaceuticals next after this. Just want to get a bunch of stuff. Okay, we get our RIF treaty port from Spain. Nice. Our SLL is dropping and stuff because the British are not giving us the market access we deserve, unfortunately. Actually, it's a little bit better than it was. It was like 80 for a while. 89 is significantly better, but still, we definitely need a lot more market access. We've got turmoil in like all of our states, which isn't great. Might actually want to try to trigger a civil war. I don't know if there's any easy way for us to do that, really. Maybe we could do it like this. We want to... I don't know, it's a little bit tricky to decide, because we do have quite a bit of radicalism that would be nice to get solved. Yeah, let's go censorship and trigger a radical movement civil war, because I think that's going to be pretty nice to clear out some of our radicals, because I think, yeah, we're getting quite a bit of unrealized taxes, largely from tax waste, because we've got turmoil in like all three of our major Algerian states right now, which is not great. Okay, we got our pharmaceutical. Oh, right, we're passing censorship to try to trigger the radical movement. Oh, I hope we don't actually. I guess it doesn't matter if we actually pass this. We can just pass National Guard. But once we're done with this, once we're done triggering the Civil War, I do want to try to go public health insurance, because that'll help increase our SOL, hopefully preventing future problems. Also, I did just request support regime and stuff to try to increase our Louisire, because I think we need to start trying to work towards independence from the British. Um, the lack of market access problems is just pretty annoying, and I think our economy is sort of big enough that we can probably handle it. If the British went like market unification or something, we could probably just build ports to get out of the problem, but they just didn't. So it's like you need to build so many ports to fix it, so it's just not worth it. I was looking at the things that we're getting the most of from the British though, and one of the things is steel. So I'm gonna build some steel just to make sure we have some after we lose our British market when we get independence. We get reforms at gunpoint, which will give us universal suffrage. I think that we'll still be trending towards 100 activism when we click this. I hope we do, because if we don't, then it's kind of bad. Yeah, we are. Okay. Nice to get that 5% extra loyalists, I guess. Um, the Civil War should be pretty easy to deal with as long as the British join on our side, right? Hopefully the British don't abandon us and join the other side. If they're in another war, that is one way to guarantee that they'll be on our side, but they're not. So we need to hope the British are on our side. The government is a little bit reactionary. If we put the church in government, surely they won't join against us. Surely. Okay, the radical movement is about to start a civil war. Very low legitimacy right now. Election's going to take place soon. Apparently our French ally thing is gone. I'm hoping that the British will just help us defeat the Civil War. Go, I guess, on that front. Surely the British will just not throw. Austria offers to join in exchange for an obligation. We'll just decline that and call ally them into the war. The USA kind of wants to join the radical revolt. Hopefully they don't actually do that. That would be very bad. Oh yeah, let's stop passing National Guard and start passing public health insurance, except we don't have legitimacy or something yet. Yeah, we don't have legitimacy yet because the election has not taken place. Once the election takes place, though, we will be going for public health insurance. Okay, this should be good government, and start going public health insurance. Well, this war is a little bit dangerously close, but the fact that they have to take our capital should just mean that we're guaranteed to win eventually, I think. Yeah, it should be. Looks like, actually we have like nearly 100% advantage on the west, so we should be, yeah, we're winning now. It was close at the start, but it's come back, and now very much in our favor. Okay, we've now occupied the west. I think that's probably their capital. Yep, Algiers has been occupied. I don't know what companies we want to put in. Maybe a wood company would be good. Although there's like so little wood in Algeria, it's like ridiculous. There's like 5 wood per state. The sadness of being a desert, feel like. There's no wood in the desert apparently. Negative 100% bureaucracy, be like. Once this revolt's over, we'll get our bureaucracy back, I think. Have we almost full occupied it? Are we actually gonna full occupy end the revolt instead of? No, this apparently they have something else. I don't know where it is. I guess they Brunei, right? Okay. Well, they're gonna cap in 2 weeks anyway, so it's not. Oh, they're actually gonna cap next week. Okay. Yep. Now we've got no more radicals, pretty much. We are running a bit of a negative bureaucracy, but make sure PMs are on filing cabinet. Okay, we do need to build a bit more. Build like 10 in Constantine along with a railway. That should help fix our bureaucracy so we can level up healthcare. Is this a Algerian specific company? I think it might be, so I guess we'll go for that. Apparently we got a company from the revolt. Let's still span that one. I guess we'll go for generic home goods. That seems fine. Unfortunately, we're called into a war with Egypt, so that is going to give us a truce. So once this China war is over, I think we got to declare independence. The British are destroying us with 76% market access. How am I supposed to live with this terrible market access, bro? I'm going to offer to support Canada's independence so we can have someone to help us out a little bit. You know, they'll distract some British troops a little bit. Although we're probably still going to need a lot of conscripts. So, yeah, we'll probably put down a bunch of enlistment efforts. Yeah, let's do that real quick in like all of our high population Arab states up here. That should be good. We'll be ready to declare our independence as soon as possible. Oh, Canada's in a revolt. Okay, well, I guess Canada's not going to be too much of a help then. We'll give Australia support independence as well, I guess. Need to wait for this war with China to be over. Okay, I think it's time to declare independence. Apparently the Austrians are going to be helping us. That's nice to see. Yeah, any friendly armies. Go on to the Gibraltar front. Gibraltar is going to be our only war goal, I think. I don't think there's any point in adding others. It will make it way harder to enforce if we add any other war goals. Gibraltar should be fairly easy to enforce, given that we do have a border with it, and it is super close to our country. It's not like on the mainland of the UK. Should be good. Hopefully they add like a ban slavery in Algeria war goal. That would be nice, but looks like they might not be, so kind of unfortunate. We'll, I guess, try to raise as many conscripts as possible real quick. Just add in a ton here. Unfortunate that you like can't control click on stuff that already has conscripts in it. Something like this, and the rest should be mobile artillery conscripts, and that should just be pretty solid, and we should be able to win this war. So yeah, I think we'll call Austria to our side. No, let's just call them a call ally, right? That makes the most sense. Yeah, okay. I think this should be pretty easy war with the help of the Austrians and our great conscript army. So far, they have nothing on this side of the Gibraltar Strait, which is good. It looks like they've got some stuff arriving in 20 days, but not much. We can sway... Oh, we can't actually sway these guys. They've got a truce. Okay, we just finished researching something. Let's go into pan-nationalism now, I guess. Looks like that's actually going to take only a day. And then we'll go do some sort of stuff into pump jacks. So once we get pan-nat, we can form Maghreb. Kind of nice. I don't know if it's going to give us any significant claims or whatever. Forming the Maghreb, it gives us a couple claims, but nothing too major. Okay, we're pushing to Gibraltar from the north, and hopefully we can hold it in the south. We should put these guys on defense, because the south, we have a much lower advantage. In fact, we have a disadvantage in the south, whereas we've got a 90 advantage in the north, which is just means you basically are winning in the north completely. That's good. Hopefully Canada and stuff don't get occupied, because if they do, we're going to wait for them to capitulate in order for us to enforce, but yeah, we can just hope that they won't, surely. Okay, Gibraltar is now occupied. Good to see it. We can probably delete a ton of these conscripts now that we don't need to push anymore. We can just get a couple to defend the North Africa. Oh, there's a front in British Senegal, right? So we'll go defend that, I guess. Oh, and apparently native uprising. Let's go deal with that as well. Australia got occupied, so they're about to capitulate. But I think Canada so far has not lost. Yep, Canada so far hasn't gotten occupied. So pretty soon Britain is going to be capping. Although, actually, who is this? The Netherlands is on their side, and they don't want to make peace. So that might be a bit of a problem. Yeah, so either the Netherlands or Canada won't accept a peace deal, or I guess this peace deal would be the only one no, even the UK doesn't want peace. So Canada's not going to get their independence for sure, because they're going to get occupied in just a second here, and then they're going to start ticking down. Wait, what? Huh? Why are there no British troops here? I'm very confused. Some sort of nonsense has clearly gone on here. Textiles in our country are extremely expensive, so I'm thinking, or wait, we need to go up to mechanized workshops and stuff, but I'm thinking maybe we go prior to, no, it's less productive. We do actually have silk in our market or whatever. Let's click on one of our things that uses silk real quick. We actually do have a lot of silk, apparently. Oh, we're importing a ton from the Qing. Okay, well, I guess that's pretty decent then. Yeah, we should be able to win this war pretty soon. British are 48 acceptance away, so actually might need to go to minus 100, but it's going to be fairly soon either way. I have no clue why the British just, like, abandoned Canada all of a sudden. Austria is offering to provide military assistance. We'll definitely take that military assistance. It'll help out a little bit. Okay, we're going to propose the peace deal here, get our Eastern Andalusian Treaty Port and independence, which makes us into the 7th great power in the world. Our truce with Egypt is up, so I think we want to go ahead and invade Egypt real quick. We're going to take over, or I guess let's declare for the one that actually costs infamy, so that we can have it be primary. And then we'll add in our, oh wait, these ones cost infamy too now because we're great power, right? That makes some sense. We're going to put interest in the Nile, so that we can add more war goals. We could go for a protectorate, I think, but we could also just go for conquest of like Lower Egypt or whatever. I think, or we'll see how much infamy it is to conquer like these 4 states or whatever. Or we don't have any maneuvers for that. Oh no, we do. Um, we'll see how much infamy it is to conquer the like 4 main states. And if it's reasonable, then we'll probably go for that. 18, 28. What's that going to be? Like 32, 50, 55. That seems kind of reasonable. But it's yeah, it's 100. It's 100 maneuvers. So let's just go for that. That seems it's gonna be a bit nice. Finite. Yep, that's all we want. Okay, I guess we'll primary the returns. Hopefully they don't back down. They might actually, but we'll just hope that they won't. Austria offers to join us in exchange for an obligation. How strong are these guys? 1709 versus 3000. I think we'll just not do that. Apparently Qing and France want to join Egypt. I don't know why they aren't joining, but I'm fine with it. Well, it looks like Qing is in. Oh, Qing has a truce with someone and is in a lot of debt. But yeah, who knows why France isn't joining? Certainly not me. Um, Typical streamer luck, you know, not having France run against me. Some would say that there was an alternate reality where I accepted an Austrian sway for a trade agreement and then France ran against me, but I think that's just the doubters, you know. Okay, we've occupied the Egyptian capital, so yeah, we're gonna get our war goals pretty soon. I'm kind of surprised that Egypt didn't back down, to be honest. Seems a little bit weird that they wouldn't have backed down given we had so many war goals. I guess we did primary a couple, but still, they were quite outnumbered. I guess they weren't that outnumbered, actually. It was like 2-to-1 army power projection difference, right? Unless we got, yeah, we didn't conscript that much, so I guess there's like a 2-to-1 power difference, so maybe it makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah. Okay, and there goes Egypt. The great expansion of the Maghreb continues. We should start incorporating our newly acquired Egyptian territory. This stuff will actually be good territory because we can actually incorporate in 5 years, unlike Iberia, which is, you know, just kind of for the memes. Egypt is now Sudan, clearly. We should rename Egypt to Sudan. We hit 50 million GDP, so I'm going to start trying to pass laissez-faire. Also, I'm going to look to see if we have a market liberal landowner we can invite. I doubt we do, but... Oh, we do, actually. Okay, well, we will start bolstering the liberal... That's the labor movement, not the liberal movement. We'll start bolstering the liberal movement so that hopefully it can pressure the landowners. I think that's going to be the finishing of the colonization. Yep, the Sahara is now finished colonizing. We had one giant province that finished colonizing over here in the west. There's like 2 big provinces, I think, in the game. It's probably that one. And so there's one up here in northern Russia that I know of. Someone sent it in the Victoria 3 Discord at some point. It's like absolutely massive. Well, we're about to have a civil war as soon as we unpause, because the labor movement's at 100% activism. So yeah, that's not great, but it's kind of fine. You know, it'll help with passing laissez-faire, and it'll delete some of our radicals, which we do have quite a few of. You know, especially in Algeria, we have a little bit of turmoil, which, you know, you don't like to see that too much. Hopefully, thing with the civil war can help that turmoil out a little bit. Although our GDP, or I mean, our construction is not doing too great right now, but I mean, it's kind of okay, you know. Don't like we're running how much of a negative balance? Negative 125K if we want to use all of this construction. We like need to delete some of this, I think. We'll have a little bit less negative probably if we don't have all of some of our states in revolt, but still I think we just have a little bit too much, so including a little bit to get maybe that's a little bit too much. I don't know. I think it's probably reasonable as a guess how much we'll need. Laissez-faire will probably help out a little bit in the short term though. Okay, the Civil War is over. Oh, we need to research a new tech. Let's go civilizing missions. We can get negative infamy prices on unrecognized powers, I guess, and then maybe vulcanization. We're gonna build some nice little opium in Egypt. Nice that they have some opium deposits there. Maybe we should even, like, you know, nationalize all their other farms and replace them with opium. I think that's maybe overkill. Looks like the other farms are kind of productive. Have we swapped up all of our farms in our country to fertilizer? I actually don't think so. Let's swap them all up to fertilizer. That'll help with grain prices. You can see they were like in the top of our used goods that were too expensive, but now they're no longer there, so that's nice. Grain prices are now down to plus 9%. Okay, we pass laissez-faire. Very nice. Yeah, investment pool shots up like 30K from that. Yeah, Is there anything else we want to go for in terms of companies? We could go for the opium company. No, we're gonna have it fully built, and I don't want to do the deleting stuff to try to get it. We'll just do a wood company. Looks like we're kind of running a pretty big pile of balance, so we can afford a bit more of construction back, but not too much, because, this pile of balance will probably go down as buildings privatize and stuff, unless we get onto prop tax, but, oh, actually, we could do that. That would be good. 3% success from the labor movement, which I guess probably has very low support due to, yeah, minus 174% political movement attraction from suppressing after civil war. Austria just got a civil war, so we'll take a bankroll. I think I'm going to end off the campaign here. We got some pretty nice stuff. We took a bunch of Iberia over back to the Islamics, though obviously it didn't actually convert back to Sunni fully. I mean, actually, we have 250,000 people in Western Andalusia that are Sunni. I wonder how many there are on GameStar. I'll go take a look at that in a second. There's 200,000 in Eastern Andalusia and none in Valencia or anything. Well, I'm going to go take a look at that real quick to see how many people there are in these provinces that are Sunni at the start. I took a look at it, and there's actually 0 in the start of the game, so I guess these are all immigrants that we sent over, or I guess we sent over a tiny bit of immigrants, and then a bunch of Spanish people converted, looks to be what has happened, since we are on state religion, and because we couldn't get off of it, so we are just converting people. This is what the GDP graph looks like. You can see a huge spike up after we annex a bunch of stuff from Egypt. Is there anything else I want to look at? I can't think of anything, so I think that's for ending off the video. Goodbye!